Hello peeps and hello peppers and welcome to the start of the week, Monday Manatee, even though it's Tuesday. Um, sorry for the delay. I am figuring out more and more that I have to film these thingies when I am in the flow. So I hope you see this manatee flowing through the sky, even though it has a load of things that are actually my plans for the day. And yes, I figured out something that how to like support myself so I can draw with the right hand and hold with the left hand. So maybe I should like film on my bed more often while sitting in the wheelchair, making even more friends with Geraldine the wheelchair. In some article I saw the the manatee is the pug of the sea because it has also such a wrinkly, sad-looking face. But of course, I realized that this is something that people bred because they found it cute. And let's say if I bought a pet, I would only like get it from the pet shelter or from a responsible breeder who knows about the health risks and maybe like things outside the box, such as like mixing an overbred animal with a mutt of a similar stature, or something to make the pedigree animals more healthy. And I actually think I'm figuring out more things on making myself more healthy. And yes, yesterday I was actually feeling really ill because I did too much doom scrolling. So, but in all the doom scrolling, there was this one funny cartoon where the manatees talk to each other and like one said, Rosie, stop eating this ice cream, you're lactose intolerant. And Rosie, or whatever the name was, like actually hovering above the sea and saying, why, this is my new life, this way I can fly. The undertext was that Cyrenians use farting as a way of like regulating gas in their belly and therewith regulating their buoyancy, their ability to go up or down. And that like reminded me how as a kid the adults explained to me like a hot air balloon worked. And I mean, I hope it's clear that like I'm not walking around now trying to regulate my buoyancy in sort of taboo ways, but actually this gave me an opportunity to see my whole nature with humor because let's say with my autism and my cerebral palsy, I often had like a very slow intestine. And people trying to control me going to the loo from a very young age was like really, really difficult and actually shaped this sense of having no privacy that I am still carrying around as a heavy load in my life today. So actually the manatee and ice cream cartoon gave me an idea to, let's say, own it and live and learn hand in hand with my body. Hence the idea that I can actually make better videos when I'm sitting in the wheelchair and supporting my elbows on my bed. Like when I was a kid, it was also like sort of like a nightmare to the adults if I ever should learn to use a wheelchair, because that was sort of like a red flag. And like, you know me, in my speeches, you always have to see everything in context. I learned as an adult that a wheelchair can be actually a great it's called mobility aid, but it's like more. It's the freedom to, like in my case, decide where I want to put my energy. Like I mostly use the wheelchair actually inside the house when someone's coming, because then I can actually make it more visible that I can't randomly fetch things. Yes, this morning I started to figure out how to transport things on my knees. Yeah, because I have to still do a lot of the West Iceland graphic novel. I also decided to come along with my West Iceland coffee cup, and at the point the coffee was hot, so I took so much time for the setup, so now it's cold. But yeah, I'm taking this much time for the setup with humor. This is actually also for the pen paling Friday that sort of had to go on a pause because I was too tired and too doom scrolling. This is a gift from a pen pal, and actually using such crocheted or knitted cloth as a coaster helps me to like prevent knocking the cup over. In the doom scrolling, there was also the piece of news that sorry to say this, right-wing radical group in Iceland is on the rise and goes for walks in town. So let's say I'm a little bit worried about my safety in town. And I really hope that the city government will take wise decisions, and also like the state government, as in, I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but let's say as soon as people put other people in danger, I am all for signing all petitions to forbid this. So, my question to my beloved cards was, what can I and my lovely audience here do against like right-wing violence? And yeah, of course, the moon occurs a lot when I'm like trying to read tarot or listen to tarot readings. And of course, there is this moon character in the West Iceland graphic novel. And let's say, yeah, he is the crafty one. He's the nerd. So maybe it's like being crafty about the things that we already know. My psychologist always says I should like focus on my little post stamp in life. And then I read this saying somewhere, like, if you work in your little corner of life, then you can dissolve the entire fabric. So I see here's water. In the beginning, I was not quite clear if this is a Scorpio or if this is a lobster. And actually, from the form, I would rather say it's a lobster. And lobsters are more intelligent than they look, and lobsters actually clean up their dishes, like their seashells, after eating. And like, I think one or the other of you has heard of Leon the Lobster. Not sponsored, but this was like a really beautiful YouTube channel where, let's say, someone who really knew how to do saltwater aquaristics saved a lobster from a gourmet store, because they are basically sold alive, and it's like newly published in Science that they actually feel pain. So and this one shed his skin multiple times. Like they actually always went by the idea that he is a he, and he was called Leon, but we don't know if Leon was a male or a female. But anyway, there was a big deal about like giving him time to draw back when he shed his skin. So I would say this is like an autistic card also, like giving oneself time to draw back. You don't see the identity of this person. The person is actually just like hypnotizing the moon. The moon also reminds us that many things come and go in circles, in cycles. The birds are like flying into the moon, and like make of the birds what you will. Ravens are very intelligent, and sometimes they dance for people here in the area, but they are also messengers of death. And death can also be a new beginning, because like the ravens eat everything. The ravens work with what is there. And here this could be like star constellations and nebulae. I used to be really close to someone who is really into astrophotography, so I learned some things about nebulae. And actually, the person with the astrophotography also taught me that, like, you should do what you're good at, and you should do what is fun to you. So I'm sure that everybody can contribute something to the fabric of society. When I asked for more info on this, here I got this King of Swords, and he has a hunting falcon. So I would say, yes, talking about doom scrolling, control the information that you read, basically. It was a little bit funny last week that I told someone that a certain movement would cost me as much energy as it would cost this person to carry a Saint Bernard dog up and down the stairs. And then promptly the algorithm recommended me a story where it was vital to the context that a Saint Bernard was carried up the stairs and down. So yes, I also had a cool conversation about feathers with someone, that the feathers have such many small particles that cling into each other, and that's why feathers are so dense that you can't blow out a candle through them. Send the falcon hunting for the things that you're actually interested in and that actually matter. I think this sword also has a falcon face or something. So maybe like unleash your inner animal, be close to nature and do what's good for you. So here's what specifically artists can do according to, like, when I asked the question, this was like, okay, it reminded me of someone from my childhood, and it reminded me of like carnival, which is like a time to let loose of conventions and make jokes about people. And of course, this is a magic one. So yes, the magic of storytelling and the magic of comedy could do something. And here is like what me and my lovely audience here could do this upcoming week. When I am seeing a monk or a nun with a hood, I'm thinking of Capuciner monks, like that gave the name to the cappuccino drink. So yes, let's drink non-alcoholic beverages. Let's nourish ourselves with what we need. This window looks like a flower with a lot of networking structures. So get back to the roots, find out what is important to us. When I was at church this past week, I came, of course, again way too late, and I own it. But I came on time to hear the saying, if you search for your personal temple, then think of what gave you the most joy as a child. And let's say watching TV with music and telling stories with drawing pictures, that gave me so much joy that it basically compensated for my, let's say, lack of privacy and lack of getting rid of the shit. So I wish you a great week where you can get rid of your crap as needed, find some growth, find some light, and can also like hold your hands open for your personal blessings, whatever they mean to you, and have a cappuccino if you like that. Bye bye.